Yo, you know what it is. You know what it is. Unique Make Audio. We on here. We doing it live. I got my man Boosie with me today. We're going to play Big Meech's first interview. And I watched this myself, some of it, and I like it. And I decided to watch the rest with you. Now, Big Meech speaks about at the beginning of his up and coming when he first went to a strip club and when he realized he had to get his game up in order to get the women. You know, everybody say, I ain't paying for no chick. I ain't paying for no chick. You're going to hear Big Meech say himself that he knew he had to get his weight up to get the women and why he had to get it up. So stay tuned for that. And then he's going to speak on when the feds got to him and things like that. But I wanted to begin with him starting from the beginning of him coming up as Meech. So sit back, enjoy the interview. Know that the phone number is up there. You could call in, got the phone. We ready to ride. All right.
Keep it going.
You know what it is. Unique Make Audio, man. We in the house. I don't know how we got Diddy up here, so I don't know what's going on, but, you know, we got to say free Diddy, man. He been going long enough, and, you know, that's where that's at. Now, so Diddy made his appearance, man. You know, that's crazy, ain't it? I mean, it just popped up, so don't think that that was a part of the show. That's just what happened. But like I said, this here is Big Meech speaking, so I'm going to get right to it because I'm blocking Big Meech, and I know we got the rat bastards and flip-flop wearing in public trolls. Let me move over so you can see him until this thing speed up. All right.
You never been at MGM?
Never.
Get the fuck out. Ain't no way.
Never.
You never been to MGM?
I was hitting the
What about Greek
Sting
Time?
and All-Star and all that. I've never been in none of the casinos.
Damn. What it wasn't.
Now, the reason I paused that, you heard that, right, Boosie? You heard what he just said just now?
Facts.
Okay. Now, tell the people, well, I'm going to tell the people because I want to put you on the spot. The reason why he said that, you know, he ain't never been to a casino, right? So you understand. The reason why me said he ain't never been to a casino was because when we was getting the money that we was getting, we didn't need to gamble because we was already winning. So it wasn't no gamble to take to get any more because we was getting more than enough. So if we went to gamble, it was because we wanted to win, but at the same time, we didn't have a problem losing to give back, you know, to our comrades. And that's how you pay it forward. Meaning if I get in the game with the homies, right, because we riding. I get in the game, you know, a CeeLo with the homies, and, you know, I come in with 100,000, 200,000, and, you know, we betting. I expect to win, but I'm not heartbroken if I lose because my brothers got it. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how we ride out, so you understand. If you don't understand where I'm at, somebody let me know because I'm a little confused right now. Now, so that's what he means by he never been to a casino because we didn't need to go to try and win money because we was already winning money. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we don't need to go to a casino. We don't need to get in a dice game. We do what we want to do when we want to do it and how we want to do it, and that's that. Because we in charge. So we're not going to try. We don't need to go to no MGM. See, you know, we are the lottery. You know, we are the casino. We the blackjack. And that's basically what he's saying. So I'm breaking this down from a gangster point of view. So if you ain't into the gangster, you know, ism right now, I need you to get off this channel. I'm going to give you 3 seconds. All right. Oh, man, my gunshots was failing me for a minute, but I'm good. Maybe you deserve the delay. Maybe they deserve to just be tap dancing for a minute while I'm, the joint wouldn't go off and I'm sitting here, and I just say, it's just crazy. But that's what Meech is saying, man, so you understand.
The same vibe or something, was it?
I wasn't nowhere near the same vibe, but I wasn't in none of that shit. I wasn't
You say you was straight at All Stars and 10 the Sting and All Stars up and shit before y'all told Magic City up.
What? Nah. Probably what was that, the Black Orchid? We definitely saw All Stars, but All Stars came along after Magic City. You couldn't even get a girl, like, this is when you learned you had to get your money up to get certain bitches to dance with, because a nigga have her all night. Yeah. You got the Detroit niggas in one corner, LA niggas, Chicago niggas.
Nigga find some shit in cuffers to come over here with us.
Yeah, they have it's $20 a dance, so they dancing all night. It ain't like today. You throw $1,000, bitch dance 3 songs, and if you ain't throwing no more ones, then she ready to go.
$40, $50 a slip. She done thugging all night.
You get her $1,000, then you good for the whole night. She ain't going nowhere.
She with the moving on.
She ain't going nowhere. So like this shit is different now, and then the girls can't dance today. All
right, before we get into how the girls dance, right? Let me just say this, right? Let me bring this down. Bring Boosie up. Yo, Boosie, tell them who you are, where you from. I'm gonna break that down about how they get the money.
Yeah, I'm Big Boosie, man. Make sure y'all go to Street Knowledge Podcast on YouTube. But I'm from Harlem all day long, and I definitely can relate to what they talking about. That's a fact.
All right. Let me ride. I'm gonna bring him back up. I'm gonna bring Big Meech back up, right? Check it out. What he's basically saying is, right now, pay attention. I'm gonna show you the generation gaps, how the finances move forward, right? The way this thing go, I think I need to be up here right now so I can break this down. So the way this thing go, what Meech is trying to say is, so you understand, when he was out there, you give a girl $1,000 to dance and you got her all on night for $1,000. He said, now you throw $1,000, they give you 3 songs for $1,000, right? Now, I'm the generation before Meech, for those of you who don't know who Unique Make Audio is, right? I'm the generation where in Miami, it was $5 for a lap dance. And anybody challenge me on anything I say, we do no wailing. I'm from New York City. Yeah, New York City. But I was down in Miami with them F niggas. You know what I mean? You know how they talk down in Miami, and that's what it is. Now, in Miami, it was $5 for a lap dance, what they call it table dance then. It was $5 for a table dance. And then you go to Atlanta, it was $10 for a table dance. Now you in Miami and you go up to Atlanta because that's the hip spot to get out of state to go to another state. So you go up there and they want double the money. And there, for some reason, out of town, it seemed like the songs go through faster. When I say faster, meaning, you pay your $5 in Miami or your $10 in Atlanta, and then don't forget now, pay attention, keep up to the story, because we riding, then we go up to Meech era, where they giving them $1,000 in the strip club. And he said, get them for all night. My generation, before Meech, would call that raising the price of the punani. If they're dancing for $5 and $10 in 1993, how did they go from $5 and $10 in 1993? Keep up now, pay attention. To $1,000 in 2003. We understand from 2003 to 2026, because that's 2 decades, right? But in 1 decade, it went up, so you kind of could see the math on how it did that, right? So did Meech really raise the price of punani? Put it in the comments. If you don't know how to put it in the comments, let me put it on the screen so you can see how to put it in the comments. Now, I don't see why I put it in the comments, it's not on the screen, but we working, and there we go. Now we looking like something, right? So that's where we at right now. So Meech is talking about back in his era, it was $1,000 for all night, and then now it's $1,000 for 3 songs. For $1,000 back then, you could have got her sister, her cousin, her auntie, and everybody else. Oh yeah, the phone lines is on. So put the phone line on. The phone lines is on. And put the phone number up there so you can see the phone number so you can call in. And the link is in the bio if you want to come up and speak on this. We talking about the different generations and how Meech started off to where he got and how the feds got on him. I just felt like watching this with y'all. Do y'all mind? All right, let's keep it moving.
Bounce their ass. Except for the ones that on the pole.
That's when they was doing them pole tricks.
Man, they was doing everything. White Chocolate had the best pole dance.
White
Chocolate.
Yeah, that I had ever seen.
You see, they had a white chocolate, right? And we had what they called, and y'all from back in the day know what I'm talking about. We had old sexy white girl cream. They had white girl chocolate in 2003. You think white girl chocolate might be white girl cream's daughter? That's how generations move now. Put in the comments if you understand what I'm saying. We had a dancer named White Girl Cream that was straight crack back then. I got pictures of her too if you want to call me on it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I talk my trash. I went all the way down to Miami and got her. She used to be one of the Luke Skywalker dancers, and I brought her up to New York, right? But White Girl Cream came up here, and then here it is now. We got Meech talking about he had a white girl chocolate. So White Girl Cream was into chocolate. I mean, black men. So now they have a dancer in the A where White Girl Cream was from named White Girl Chocolate. Are y'all paying attention how the hood really works? If you got anything to say, any discrepancy, feel free to call, but be respectable because we don't play that over here, Unique Make Audio. Let's get back to Big Meech, just so you understand. I just want to enjoy this joint with you today. All right?
I mean, it is though, right? How the fuck did y'all come up with making it rain?
Because the ones was garbage. The ones and the fives was
But
garbage.
how did how the fuck did that happen?
I'm finna give it to you. The ones and fives was garbage. You gotta remember, I'm plugged in with big cartels, Colombians or motherfucking Mexicans.
Yeah.
So back in the day when we first started fucking around with the Colombians, they won't take no ones and fives. So when you getting 100 bricks at a time, getting front of 100 bricks at a time, you got to keep all the ones and fives.
Oh,
now,
shit.
The jury store not going to take, they're going to take them only so many times.
Right.
Then we try and walk around with hundreds and 50s so we don't look like drug dealers.
Yeah.
So you definitely don't want to go on, just take $5,000 in ones and Foot Locker.
Yeah, that shit looks stupid.
And see how long it's going to take because they got to understand they're going to count it. They ain't not going to weigh it or none of that. They're going to count one for one to make sure. You know what I'm saying? And so it's only so much cars and jewelry that they'll let you have. Meech, I can't take no more. Meech, T, I can't take no more ones. So now you stuck with them. So you look up, we got garbage bags full of ones and fives. So guess what we can get rid of them at? Strip club. They pay their bills, they pay for the kids, look out for the kids, everything. Do that. So if I got $350,000 worth of ones and fives, we're going to go throw the $350,000.
So basically.
All right. So just to give you, because you already know that we like to take our rides over here, right? Just to, take you on a ride, right? I remember me and my brother, we went downtown to Martin's Mercedes-Benz down there, right? On the west side. We go up in the joint and we ordered 2 Mercedes-Benz and, we looking at him and the guy coming in there, he acting funny. His nose is curled up and, so I told him, we'll take 2 of these. And he said, how do you want to take them on? So we said cash and he looked at us and started laughing. It was like 60,000 a piece, around 120,000. So he looked and he started laughing. He said, no, seriously, how would you like to take it? We didn't know nothing about credit. Like today, I see everything is credit and leasing and things like that. You wanted a Mercedes back then, you go buy it cash. So we went down there to go buy the joint. And he was like, do you know that we have to check the money to make sure that the money is, correct and and it's not counterfeit? And he's acting real stupid, right? So I tell you, just let me see the manager. So they call the manager over. I tell the manager what's going on, and the manager reprimanded them. So we in there talking. I tell the manager straight up. I said, "Look, I'm gonna take these 2 cars, right? But I don't like his attitude. He has a nasty attitude, very nasty attitude." So I said, "What I'm gonna do is, the way I'm gonna take this car is, I'm gonna give you $120,000 in ones, and I want him to count it." And he looked at me. He said, "That's all you want?" And he did it, but he didn't understand, being that he already crossed the line, because anything over 10,000 they're supposed to report to the IRS, and he's letting me bring him $110,000. And then now I tell him I bring my $110,000 in one, and he said he'll take it with no hesitation. So that means he's not going to turn it in and run to the police about nothing. So he's a possible co-defendant to get the bag, to have somewhere to launder the drug money, because so much ones and fives and tens come in that is not really in the back then, the normal world, cash flow, because people walked around with 20s back then. Regular people, of course, they had regular money, because we all had it in our pocket. But I'm talking about, they was using, their credit cards and things like that at that time, and checks. Y'all do remember checks, don't you? So it wasn't everybody using, cash, like that. But that's basically what he's saying about that. So let's go back and see where he at. All right.
Making it rain was giving back.
Damn.
Right.
Right. And finding something to do with
Look
the
at the
ones.
Chamber Brothers.
Yeah, they had. Yeah.
Look at the video they did.
I remember that video.
In the 80s. And they threw the one. What we gonna do with all this?
Yeah.
We just gonna throw it back.
Remember that video.
Back. We just gonna give it back. Okay, that's because that's Detroit way. That was our era. So now you make it, you turn it into make it rain, but they don't understand it's a method to your madness. There's 2 things that you're getting out of it. One, I'm getting more clientele attracted to. They like, damn, this nigga just threw my re-up money. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get out.
Yeah.
Can't beat them joining program.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, you throw up the money, dude grab the money, and he bring the money right back to you, right? Because we like to ride. We're going to get Bootsy jump in a minute, because Bootsy get ready to tell us about how he first learned about making it rain. But right now, we coming up to Bootsy's era. So sit back and relax with us. All right? Now, he's talking about, making it rain and, throwing up the money, so you could understand. Back in the day, when I'm on the block and I got too many ones, I might drive down the street in a convertible and just throw out, a bunch of $1 bills just to get rid of them. And as I'm watching them picking up this garbage bag of $1 bills coming out, I'm watching them turn around and run right up the block where I'm hustling at. So the money's coming right back to me. They know they can't come ask me to give them no drugs, because I don't touch no drugs, hold no drugs, or none of that with no drugs. That's what, soldiers are for. So when they come to me, I give them cash, and I know where they're going with the cash. So when it's like a Friday, Saturday night, it's crowded, I might just drive down and throw out a couple of grand out the window on $1 bills and watch them all pick it up. And as they pick it up, they turn around and they go up the block and they spend it back. So that's equivalent to me handing them the drugs, is the way the government looked at it. And that's what got me 26 years in federal prison. That's why I'm telling you that it's not worth it. So don't think about me playing this video, talking this real up and large talk, from the drug era with Meech, that I'm promoting anything negative, because that's the last thing that I'm doing. I'm just giving it to you real raw and uncut. We getting that money, we got to get rid of it. Dudes come up to us, man. Listen, I come out my building. I'm in the Polo Grounds. I come out the building. As I come out the building, I might have $5,000 in my pocket. By the time I get from 155th Street and 8th Avenue to 153rd Street, 2 blocks in 8th Avenue, the 5,000 is gone. And it took me, about 10 minutes to get over there. To walk 2 blocks, about 10 minutes, stopping, talking to people, and giving away money. People used to come up to me, ask me for money for their rent, because they was behind 3 and 4 months, and I don't even know them. And I took care of their rent. And I'm sure Meech did the same thing, but that's what they call a Robin Hood in the hood. they knew we was doing bad, but we looked out. You know when I realized that doing bad was bad, but bad could also help good, is when an old lady that was a straight Christian lady, every time I saw her, she curled her nose up at me. But her sister, she was also Christian, but she never really curled her nose up too high. You know what I mean? She just gave me a smirk. So sister come in there one day and she was carrying the bags, and I helped her with the bags, and I dropped like about 100 singles in her bag, you know, when I was helping her open the door, and she didn't even see me drop it in it. So she went upstairs, put down her bags or whatever, and I didn't see her that day. The next day when I seen her coming back in, you know, and she said, "How you doing?" I said, "I'm off." You open the door and I drop another 100 in the bag, you know, and she still didn't acknowledge the first 100. She go up the stairs and she come back down. And then the third day she's walking up the block and she said, "Yo, 5-0 around the corner." Hey, yo, true story, right? Hey, yo, she said 5-0 around the corner. Now, I'm doing that to look out for, but she's taking it like, you know, she's working for it. And this is a lady that's a Christian, don't talk to nobody. But every time she came through, she'll come through and one of her family members needed something or the church needed something. You know how that go. And of course, you know, we there to look out for the community. Because we rationalize why we did what we did by saying if we didn't do it, somebody else would do it. So how are we not going to do it? But see, I just felt like riding a day with y'all, man, you know, with this Big Meech joint. Let's get back into that. All right, could we ride?
You got them dancing all night. You throwing one, showering them with money. Now the next man like, shit, I got to get my money together. I already know what kind of girl she is.
And that shit built the brand
They
up.
built the brand.
In other words, that's how he raised the price of punani. Do you agree with that or disagree with that, Bootsy? I'm gonna give you the floor on that. See if you know where I see that at from where I'm at. I just walked you into your generation. You're slowing down my project, son. See, that's what I'm saying. You know, slowing down my project, but we ride and bear with me technically. Let me know how many people in the back real quick, right? But this is what we call, you know, Bootsy, let me know when you're ready, man.
I'm on deck.
All right. Let's go. Let me bring back up. Bring that back down. All right. We're showing the prison cell because we want to let you
hear me?
this is where you could wind up, and this is what would happen to you if you don't
Can't hear you.
right. All right. If you can't hear me, come out and come in while I'm playing this tape, Boots. All right, let's go, because you're slowing me up now.
They passing the word
Crazy.
around.
How many strippers you feel like whose lives you changed, like put through school and
A lot of them.
because that's back when girls were stripping because they down there had to.
Yeah, that's back when a girl may be going to college in Atlanta and be a good girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Be a good girl, nice girl, but she can't get the extra. You know what I'm saying? She can't get a little bit to just stay floating. Like, you know, a pizza is a big deal. If you buy the girls pizza that stay in the dorm or something, you know what I'm saying? Let alone getting them to cut the line for the club and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like that all that type of stuff was a big deal.
All right, let me break that down so y'all understand, right? Hey, Bootsy, come out and come back in while I'm breaking this down real quick. All right, so let me explain to you what he's saying with that. He's saying that as far as, you know, the college girls, because I used to be down there in Hampton, you know, Norfolk, Newport News area, you know, Old Dominion. Y'all know, big shout out to Virginia. Round of applause to Virginia. You know, round of applause to Virginia. All right, relax. All right, relax already. So, you know, I used to be down there in Virginia and all that. And if you offer, the first thing a girl do when you meet her and, you know, you get the beeper number, because we didn't have cell phones then, you get it right, you get the beeper number, and you beep her, you know, the first thing she wants to do is to go to dinner. All the girls And never say all, but in this situation, you say all the girls want to go to dinner. I remember back then, Applebee's was the big joint down there. But for them to go to Applebee's after they've been in their dorms eating ramen soups, cramming to get their education, they barely got a pot to piss in. Their family is struggling to pay for their expensive books. I think books was like $800 a book back then. It was raping the families to send them to college. If you didn't have that money, you had to grind. You had to get down and dirty and in the grit. And that's what created the strip clubs. I met a lot of good girls that was in the strip club because they was paying their way through college. I met plenty of good mothers in the strip club that was in there working to feed their children and clothe their children. And I met some who sold their bodies and some that had too much morals to do it. So it went both ways. They felt the lesser of two evils. I'll dance and let them gawk at me and, go against morality. But it's not as bad as, letting them enter me or me charging for it. Because I'm not asking for it, they're giving it to me. And you tell me, how could you justify, exactly what that is? How many people in the back, y'all? I asked 10 minutes ago. Now, to justify this, what is going on, is ridiculous. And that's why back then we didn't judge females in the strip club that y'all call now exotic dancers. And what do they call them nowadays? Put in the comments, what do they call them nowadays? Is it strippers? Is it exotic dancers? Is it escorts? They got all these terminologies. But basically it all adds up to $1 gets you anything. Period. Because everybody have to eat. So who's really in charge? We all chasing $1 when we get up every morning and go to work. So what are we living for? But what we getting up to go to work for in order to buy basic necessities to survive. But remember, at the beginning of the time, everything was growing and you didn't have to do that. You moved at your own pace on your own time. And you wasn't forced or obligated to do anything other than water the fruits to your garden. Now you have to get up and drag yourself down to someone's plantation and help grow and water their garden. How many in the back? Somebody explain that to me. 3 times I asked. Let's keep it moving.
You know what I'm saying? So I turned around and we just took and, man, we take care of so many, it's too many to count.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful that God had put me and my people in that position.
Ain't no question. You any of them ever like tapped in with you like, damn, thank you, I appreciate you, God bless you, you did a lot for me.
Yeah, you got white chocolate, OG India, sugar, honey, strawberry.
Who was your favorite stripper back in the day?
Shit. White chocolate.
I gotta see white chocolate. White
Shout out
chocolate.
to white chocolate.
Yeah, white chocolate. Tap in with us. We gotta see white chocolate.
Yeah.
Man, you know what I always wanted to know, right? Like, so what y'all did with like Jeezy, right? Y'all changed the game. Y'all made us realize, because me, Peasy, all us, we came up from having a movement. You know what I'm saying? With the music. And when I say having a movement, just niggas just sticking together, going to the clubs together, going to niggas shows together. We all moving together, moving on one accord. And that recipe came from watching them Smack DVDs, watching y'all, you know what I'm saying? And what it did for Jeezy career. Was that shit strategic?
I mean, it was organic like that. It was organic. It's like, okay, at the end of the day, Jeezy family. And he was a part of that life.
Yeah.
Okay, so in him being a part of that life, like we might be sitting up counting a few $1 million. So he'll bring the CDO. Look, I made this. I was in the studio last night, this, that, and other. So while we count money, we listening to it. And then I pick out my favorite. I like number 1, I like number 10, I like number 16. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And so we're gonna play this tonight at the club.
When was that moment you knew like, damn, this nigga done took the fuck off? We really
When everybody was singing the words to that shit. In Magic City, before we even pull up, when we pulling up,
How
and
did
stuff
you
like
bump?
that, I damn near had tears in my eyes because
yeah.
I'm like, we really finna make it.
How did you
Yeah.
bump into Jeezy?
Jeezy, actually, I knew one of Jeezy's cousins that was in the game, but Blue had brought Jeezy in.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's really how he got in. Blue had brought him in, you know, on some Crip shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So he brought him around, but it wasn't until I was finna go to jail that I knew that they had any type of animosity towards each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Blue used to be like, man, I told you should sign him. You should have signed him. You should have signed him. At the time when Jeezy was unsigned, I was dealing with the double murder.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I had got picked up. I only did 26 days in the county jail on Wright Street for that double murder. Then I got a bond. The only person to get a bond with a double murder,
Yeah.
being charged. I got a bond. And when I came home, he had already signed. He signed a deal with Bad Boy, Boys in the Hood, and for the Boys in the Hood thing. And DJ Drama came to me and said that he wanted to do the first visual and everything with the mixed CD.
Yeah.
So I had gave Jeezy the Ferrari. We did Trap or Die.
Right.
You know, because we had already did The Streets
The
is
hardest
Watching.
shit ever.
The Trap or Die. I gave Drama, he'll tell you, that's the most money he had ever received at that time.
Man, you know, that's the first time the world, like, in real life was watching a nigga like, you know, we ain't say too much, but what the world in real life felt like they watching a nigga live they raps, like, and that shit was like the
Right.
coldest shit on earth, bro. Like, and then you know, we from Detroit, like we can differentiate between bullshit and
Real and fake.
real and fake. You know
Real
what I'm
and
saying? And that shit had the city on smash because it's like, man, this nigga different. Like he rapping about something different. And then we watching them DVDs and just seeing niggas moving as
real.
one, a unit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Excuse me.
and I wanted to kick that off just to ask you about, like, you know, I feel like I pay attention to words, I pay attention to who a person is. And like, I always looked at you like an intellectual guy, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So like, I feel like a lot of people took out of context that viral clip that's still viral to this day when you were saying it'll never be another like this. I don't think you was talking about like, you know, whatever.
Right.
I just felt like it was more so about a brotherhood, but I could be
I
wrong.
mean,
like,
no.
Unity.
No, that's part of it. Of course, for one, it take a special kind of person to bring dudes from different places together and make them move as brothers. And a lot of that come from the leader doing everything that he done asked everybody else to do.
Mm.
There was nothing that I asked them to do that I hadn't done.
Yeah.
And they knew it.
Was it always a Pacific guy you look for when you go to East City?
I would tell you like this. The guy with nothing that know everybody is the one.
It's the one. Dang.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait.
Now, let me break that down, bro. The guy with nothing is the one that knows everyone. He knows everybody, but nobody never gave him a chance, and he never met anybody to really get that opportunity to blossom, right? You know anybody like that, Boosie? Come back in your era?
To get to know anybody?
Yeah, anybody come to mind when I say that never had that chance to blow, and then they met someone and blew?
Yeah, I know several cats that was like that, man. That was looking for certain things. Like I can use you as an example. When I was doing what I was doing, but I still wasn't at the level where I wanted to be until I seen you with my homie. I didn't know who you was. And I'm like, yo, man, I need to meet that cat. Who is that cat? I've been seeing him. And he was like, that's the homie Unique, man. He said, man, come down to the store and I'll introduce you to him. And when I came down to the store and was introduced to you, and we talked. And once we finally met, and you finally said, "All right, let's do it, let's rock," I started going to that next level of being and knowing how to control my own movement as a real boss. So yes, I use me as that example.
Mm. And you know what's crazy is that that's the same thing I was thinking because, right? Let me take this up here. When I first met Boosie came down to see me at, Mecca Audio on his own, to introduce himself and tell me straight up, yo, I'm trying to eat, man. How could I get in to eat? And you got to respect that. That's a true hustler. He didn't sit on the sideline and, and hate and say, oh, look at him. I don't like why he got that color car. He should have got the blue one. Why he got those rims. Look at that Dapper Dan outfit he got. I would have got the Fendi. Why he get the MCM? Those type of dudes that sit on the side. Well, that ain't Boosie. Boosie came and said, man, I'm trying to do me. Right now, Boosie, tell them what happened when you came to me and trying to tell me that you wanted to do you. I wanted to give them a role play so they can understand what Meech is saying when he get the guy that, just never had that opportunity.
Well, so I was rolling with AZ at the time. So, I was doing my little 1-2s here and there. And, when that tragic thing happened where A kind of fell back. So, I had to take matters in my own hands. And to jump over the story, once I was seeing you here and there, but I never knew nobody that knew you until I seen my little homie with you at this particular time. So as I was saying, once he, told me to come down to the store, I get down there to the store. So we talking and you was like, well, what can you do? And I broke it down to you what I can do. And I even told you, yeah, you can come and check out where I be at. You can check my spots out. I got 2 of them, one on St. Nicholas at the building, 723. I was regulating there. Then I had my spot on 142nd in between Hamilton Place and Broadway, 24-hour spot. And once I got with you, you seen what it was, you told me, you gave me a chance. You told me, you told me a certain day to come down the hill. I came down the hill, and that's when the apartment, you don't even let a lot of people come upstairs to. I got to come upstairs. I told you what I wanted. You put it together. You gave it to me. I left. I went and made my moves. I was back in like 2 or 3 days, paid you your money. And the rest was history, man. You embraced the brother and took me to that next level, man. And that's a fact.
And that's one thing I want to say so you understand. And this is not let me boot you up when I say this. None of this is to glorify this.
Right.
It's just showing you how y'all get on YouTube and hurt me to my heart when I hear you say there's no loyalty among thieves. Because this is what you call loyalty. What Meech is talking about is loyalty. You build loyalty when you help people eat. When you violate that, then you open the door for whatever else come behind it. And then you try and take your violation as he disrespected you because he reacted to your violation of not wanting to pay him his money.
Facts.
Or for whatever else it may be. In a minute, they're going to talk about girls and all that. But I just wanted y'all to understand that. And now this where Bootsy, man, because he can feel a lot of this when Meech is speaking about, the younger crew, because Bootsy's tapping into when he was one of the younger brothers, and that's where that's at. Now, let me finish playing this.
Out of no matter what city I went to, your right hand man don't got shit.
Yeah.
All my niggas look like my right hand man.
Mm-hmm.
No matter where they from the day ones to the ones that just got on board. So it's a difference. I want my dudes, my people, period, to enjoy the same things I enjoy.
Yeah.
All right, now Bootsy, right? I want you to speak on that as far as about him saying that he wanted his people to enjoy what he enjoyed, just so they could see that this is just a typical day in the hood for all generations, and then it get lost. Tell them about the suits, that everybody wore to Club 2000 and how that came about. All right.
Well, I'm gonna get into that real quick. So once again, like you were saying, this ain't to brag about nothing. It's about showing loyalty, and we, as of showing loyalty, don't mean just hustling, selling drugs. It means so loyalty if you open a store together, if you were selling T-shirts together. It's always a loyalty thing. So once a brother do something for you, you should always want to make sure you pay that money. See, those been the big problems amongst our culture, that a lot of people don't like to pay. They like to duck and hide, which goes back to you saying, now you take it to another level and the person has to deal with you. So now keep everything rolling the correct way, and it leads up to what Meech just said just now, as far as him wanting to make sure that his friends or whoever his associates is with him eat, and he ain't gonna be selfish to that. He want to see everybody win. And those are the rules that say make sure you feed your team, because if not, your wolves will turn on you. And that could create something that you won't even never see. 9 times out of 10, when something happened to a person, it's always somebody that was in the mix, that was in the crew, that act like they're your friend, and then they do a sneak on you. So what Meech is saying, which we learned from you once again, once you got Club 2000, you locked it in. You made sure the whole team got suits and was fresh to the T, and nobody had to pay for nothing. You paid for everything, everybody, and you let people have their own movement around the club. Invited certain people who they wanted to come and have. When we was the younger generation to you, have us looking like big dogs with our team, which our team bringing other people, and it just created one big conglomerate, man. And that's what turned that club out to be a whole big successful thing, as well as not being on the street. You started making big street money right there at that club in 1 or 2 nights, easy at the door.
Oh, my bag. I had the mute on, man. If I don't like put the mute on, oh man, you missed it too. I was spitting it. I'm gonna edit that out so that y'all miss it later. But let me run back to what I was saying. Huh? What happened? Oh, all right, thank you. I was spectacular. That's what's up. But check it out, Rob. So I'm talking about back in the days, you know, I was on 125th Street, you know, walking with my man Mo Grime, and you know, we run into Tupac. So when we run into Tupac, you know, we walking, just chilling, looking for something to cop, and we see Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid was the one that had the white van. Y'all remember Kool-Aid with the white van? And you know, Renee used to work for him. That's Tiana Taylor, you know, his mother, Renee Taylor. Big shout out to her and round of applause again. You know, that's what the round of applause was for. All right, relax, y'all. Relax, man. Relax. So now, you know, we there chilling, Tiana Taylor and all that mother out there. And, you know, I saw an outfit I liked. Mo was looking at something he liked. Tupac looking at something he likes. I said, go ahead, y'all get it. You know, Tupac looked at me like, huh? I said, yeah, go get it. But I already know he's thinking, damn, you already buying your man a joint. You know what I mean? And I can't afford to get the joint myself. And you buying yourself and two of us, so you must be getting money. You know what I mean? So now I see in his antennas peak up, because that's what type of person Tupac was. When he come around you, he was absorbing you like a sponge. No one gonna tell you the real Tupac like I'm gonna tell you Tupac how he move, you know? And I can tell you a story that I'm gonna say for my little documentary about how that book, A Rose Grows from Concrete, came into play, you know? Just so you understand. Hold on, who there? Hello? Spam, don't worry about it. So I'm gonna tell you about how Rose Grew from the Concrete came about so that you understand. But, you know, I copped him the outfit. We went up to my club that night and, you know, we set it off. I got the picture from that night too for all you rat bastards and flip-flop wearing and public trolls that want to doubt or question anything that I say out my mouth. I got photo albums and videotapes of everything. But anyway, so, you know, that's how it is as far as we look out for each other. You know, if a child gets lost and he's from 155th Street, let's say Polo Grounds, and he winds up down on 116th Street or 112th Street, one of the elders down there, when they see this child moving, is gonna ask him what's going on and assist him if they see him without a guardian, and they'll help him get back to his community and in the arms of his loved one. That's how it was then. Now I see if a child is missing, next thing you know, they're on a milk carton and 20 years went by. You know, it's turned a sad time. And that's why I do these videos, to hopefully, you know, wake y'all up so you understand what's going on. But, you know, that's what it is, making sure everybody eat, bottom line.
Do it.
Yeah.
You know, I can turn around and run out of money and be like, hey, let me get 50,000.
Yeah, nigga got it, huh?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He got it. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Bootsy, break that down. How you see that right there, man? What he just said. You know, be able to have your soldiers come to you and say, you know, let me get 50,000, and you know, or you go to them and they have it, instead of you always having to be the one to put out. Break that down for them.
Well, I could use me as an example. You know, me and my friends, you know, I had a little altercation. I'll talk about that later on down the road, but you know what I'm talking about. But when I had my altercation, I was going through a little something, and it set me all the way back. And so a lot of my friends, such as yourself, G-Head, B-Pipe, J Black, my boy 730E, when I called, I said, yo, man, I'm going through a dilemma, this, you know, things of that nature. They know what I'm talking about, which I'll talk about it later also in my documentary. But as soon as I called them, everybody, and my boy D-Boss too, man, free D-Boss, everybody came to my rescue. All of y'all came to my rescue. And nobody never even knew that I went through what I was going through. And I'm bounced right back. And nobody would never see it. So that's the purpose of always doing good business. Always make sure that your friends got some money just in case something happened to you. And once again, it's not about talking about drugs, but We're saying that because that's where we come from, and we use that method from where we came from up to date to now. Stay sticking together, stay making sure each other have money. So now I'm back rolling on point. If something was to happen to one of you guys, y'all call me up, I'm gonna repeat that process. So that means nobody falls. And that's what Meech is talking about right now. So how could we fall if we all eating together and we got a strong leader that makes sure that we eating? So don't never think you're bigger than the leader, period. Once again, when you came home, I made sure I helped you get back on your plateau with who you are, as far as what we doing with podcasting. And you take me everywhere with you, and you keeping me moving. As of now, I'm right here on your platform with you now, keeping it moving, making moves together, teamwork. That's what he means.
See, so y'all can understand what he's saying is, let me break this down to a boots. When I came home and I didn't have a pot to iss in, and I'm looking for a hustle, Bootsy came right up from North Carolina to see me. I didn't even know he was coming. I know he out of state, so I'm not even expecting him to come, but he just popped up and he said, man, come on, I'm gonna call my man Queen's Flip. I'm gonna get you on Queen's Flip. That's where you need to be. I'm telling you, they got this new thing out here. They killed them on social media, and trust me, I got you. So he took me down to Queen's Flip, and it was raining that night. I had on the gray and white Nike jacket. I might sell it on eBay or something, my first interview. But I lit that joint up. If y'all ain't see that interview on Queen's Flip, y'all need to go check that joint out. The joint was straight fire, right? Because I just came home. I was aggressive, all the way rough around the edges. It was like I was like 5 swords rolling on concrete, but the joint was just me, man, to show you the transformation. Like you just saw the transformation in Big Meech. When he came home and he stood next to Rick Ross, he looked at like he was spaced out on that prison medication. Meech, I'm gonna keep it gangster. We can laugh now, gangster to gangster, because we know what happened. He took a little bit of their medication, to ease the part of his bed, to make him go to sleep at night or deal with the nights, because we're gonna have these demons come at night. I fought through mine, but he took their medication. He came home. You saw how Meech was. I'm just keeping it real. This ain't this disrespect him. Just so we could talk to it now, so you can listen how now he could remember and reminisce, and he's articulate with putting his words together. But when them people give you that prison medication, that's what you get. What you see Meech came out with. Now, I know he ain't gonna deny that to me, and it ain't no shot, but that's what it is. I've been there and I've done that. So I already know, what he went through. But the reason why I never tried the prison medication is because the day I was getting off the plane, January 3rd, 1996, to walk in the ADX Supermax where they got El Chapo at, we had Matula Shakur just got on the plane, and they put him next to me while they letting everybody else get on. And when they put him on the plane next to me, what was this called? Let me see. I bet you ain't nobody. I called him back. Yeah, so when Matula got on the plane, he sat next to me. So he got a chance to talk to me, and he was letting me know, don't take their medication when you go in there. That's the best advice I could give you. He said, whatever happened, they're going to try and give you medication, but don't take them people's medication. And I never took the medication, I never took the medication, and that's what it is. But I had someone to tell me. I was blessed to cross the path of Tupac's stepfather, Matula Shakur, rest in peace. And, I was with him in Victorville. When Matula Shakur found out that he had cancer, he called me out to the yard in Victorville, and I spoke on this with his son before he even came home. So if I say anything wrong, he would have said it to his son when he got there, But he called me to the yard to let me know that he was, going to the hospital because they diagnosed him with cancer. And that was one of the saddest days of my life, because this is a man that used to do 5 miles 3 times a week, at 70 years old, 70 plus, running around the track in the penitentiary. But that's how he used to get down. So it hurt to hear him say that. but we all have our elders, and now we're elders. Because he was my elder, and now I'm your elder, and you're gonna be the next generation's elder, just like Meech is your elder. And you know, Meech tried the medication, it didn't work for him. But you know, it is what it is. He done got out of it, and now he's doing what he's doing, you know? And you know, that's where that's at.
Nothing is like, those be the ones that know everybody, just haven't had the chance.
They
Now
just need the right
put-
opportunity.
I know certain dudes in my family that everybody used to put a gun in their hand because they know they gonna get out,
Yeah.
right? And I'm talking about before my family, whether it was robbing or whatever. I never liked robbing, even though it's part of the streets.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I never liked that. So I was against that. So I always used to say, until I did it, that same person you giving the gun to, you give some work to. Put him on his feet.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And I did that. And the dudes that did get down like that turned into millionaires.
Turned them into bosses. You turned the
Absolutely.
woods into a boss.
They get you.
And showed them something different.
You know, you never know what you could do until you get a chance. People don't give you a chance. You know, that's what's wrong with people that's in charge, people that's on top. They don't want to give you, I want to keep you up under me so I keep you broke.
Yeah, niggas gatekeep. Being competition with the niggas they ain't got to compete with.
Right. My people gonna stay up under me because they want to stay rich.
Yeah.
They want to try to be wealthy. You know what I'm saying? One day. So they want to be able to do the things that I do. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make sure that I'm not gonna move to the suburb, but I gotta come to the ghetto and get you every day.
Yeah.
No, we all live in the suburb.
You know what else separated that shit from everything? Cause like for you, it was more so like you wasn't just trying to motivate the niggas that was around you or motivate the niggas that was moving with you. It's like you was intentionally setting out to motivate every young black nigga in America. Every time you spoke, it's like you wasn't talking to the homies that was around. You was talking to the rest of the world.
Yeah, because you know, it was hard at first. The thing about the Smack DVD to come up, the raw reports that we did, like, we not, you know, I'm not no actor, and we was raised to kind of stay away from the camera shot.
Yeah.
But times was changing at that time. And it's like, since I couldn't get the big record execs to come down to the streets and see me.
You brought the streets to them.
Brought it to them on the DVD. So Smack was around us and he was catching all the moments, and like those moments was raw moments. It's not like I had time to write something down. There wasn't nothing scripted. Everything was straight from the heart. Right. Everything was straight from the heart, straight how I feel it. And so what I did is I learned how to talk about some of the things that people may think about us.
Yeah.
The questions they may have, like, oh, I bet they blow all their money in the club. How?
Right.
How? I got $8 million worth of cars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got $8.5 million worth of cars.
Yeah.
I got 3 or 4 homes and condos in 7 states.
Damn. What was your favorite place to be at? And just kick it at?
Man, I like each place for different reasons. I stayed in Houston and Dallas, which I got picked up in Frisco, Texas, in Dallas, outside of Dallas. I stayed in LA, stayed in Atlanta, lived in St. Louis since '91, Birmingham, Alabama, and Orlando, Florida, and Miami, Florida. And spent a lot of time in New York because I had a team in the Rucker 2 years in a row. So I kind of kept.
I ain't never know that you had a Rucker team.
Yeah, Jason Terry played on my team.
Oh, that shit
Jason Terry and somebody else. It take a couple of my people to remind me of some of the people who was on the team. But
That's
2 years.
All right. So let me tell you about the Rucker, right? Because he mentioned the Rucker, right? Matter of fact, Boosie, tell him about the Rucker. I'm gonna let you tell him, Boosie. I'm gonna give you the floor.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Tell him about the Rucker.
All right. So yeah, the Rucker is one of the most legendary ball places ever. If y'all seen And One, that's where And One came from. It went and made it all the way up to its own real first reality show that was out here, man. I didn't even know Big Meech. That's a surprise to me. I didn't even know he had a team out there, man. You knew that?
Nah, I ain't know that. Definitely, I never heard that, you know?
Right. That was shocking to me, man.
Yeah, that's good. He represented New York, you know?
Facts.
Because of his
Facts.
in New York, you know?
That's a fact.
Now my round of applause don't want to work. All right, get finished, Boots.
But I like his thought process, man. His thought process is to make sure that the team is looking good. Everybody, he's not the only one shining, and especially, you know, that's probably what covered him from going to jail a lot of the years. They probably couldn't figure out who the boss was, and that's a good thing because you got so many guys that basically hate on their own team. They don't want them to get but to a certain level, and they keep them at that certain level, and that be hard for them to get any growth. And that's probably why he rose to the top, and a lot of people didn't rise to the top. But you was one of them guys, though, man. Make sure everybody eat. Make sure I let everybody know that. Come get me every day. Get you a dirt bike. Give me the four-wheeler. Let's go. We roll. We out. We doing the same thing. Period. So, and I'm not saying it because I'm on your show. I'm just saying it because it really happened with what we was doing. He is doing what he has done is what we had did back then when you was in your primes. And, you know, I can't have nothing but respect for a person like that because I learned that from guys like you, from guys like Rich Porter, AR. You always made sure people was getting some money, man. And that's why I'm that same way, man. I always tell people, man, I want you to be great just like me, man. Everybody need to eat. So it don't be no discrepancies amongst the team. That's it.
All right. So, you know, that's what it is. And that's what the whole thing is about. You don't want to go, you know, to a club and you're the one digging in your pocket all night and everyone else looking like paupers. Then why are you even with them?
Facts.
You know, and what I don't like is you go out with somebody, they know you ain't got no money in your pocket, and then, you know, every time they get you something, every time they want something, they want to go in their pocket instead of just handing you something so you got your own money to spend it. Just give me what you could stand to spare for the night, being that you are messed up for the night, because, you know, one night you might be messed up and I'm not going to be going in my pocket, you know, disrespecting you, making it look like I'm sunning you. You can't even afford to buy a Heineken or bubble gum from the store.
Right.
Because I got to hand them the money over the counter and you standing there like a little kid. And anybody that do that to their man, stop it, stop it, stop it. That's the ultimate disrespect. Whether your man tell you or not, that's going to breed disrespect. And they're going to want they get back because you disrespect them at the smallest level by doing that.
Right.
You know, we give you these jewels over here, Unique Mecca Audio, man, and we're trying to keep you out the prison cell behind us. That's what this is about. Tell them where you at, Boosie. Where your channel at?
I'm in North Carolina, man.
No, your YouTube channel.
Oh, my YouTube channel is Street Knowledge Podcast. Street Knowledge, one word podcast, man. Make sure y'all come over there because I'm gonna feed you great information. Always gonna be something positive. Even if it's something negative, I'm gonna end it with a positive message at all times, man. Cause the streets ain't where it's at, man. And you know, I left the game 31 years ago, man, watching a lot of ignorance and a lot of people that was my peers fall from my wayside, man. And I learned from their mistakes as well as I learned from my elders' mistakes on the come up. That's a fact.
All right, let's get back to this tape real quick, see what Meech talking about. Oh, big shout out to Harlem Legend. That's who helped me hook this up today. We had a little trouble, man. Round of applause to Harlem Legend. Go check out Harlem Legend official. All right, calm down, y'all. Calm down. Damn, y'all love it. See, keep it calm. All right, let's go.
Now to this day in the new millennium, what a nigga got to do? Get in front of that camera, talk that shit, make this shit look good.
There's no way I thought that 21 years later, we'll still be talking about Smack DVD and Raw Report.
Because that recipe, you gotta understand, niggas laid the blueprint.
Yeah, that was the groundwork.
But did you know then, like, this shit gonna be the blueprint 20 years later? Or you just was living and just doing you?
You know, one thing I did know is that you could never erase it.
Mm.
It's like doing a movie.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna keep that, but somebody's gonna see the value in it, even if it ain't you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Look, I got this. And that's what just so happened the internet came in. You know what I'm saying? So now that brings everything to life. Just like when I was talking on the phone to this one dude, I didn't know he was recording, but it sounded like an interview.
Yeah.
But I didn't know he was recording me.
What
I'm
you
just
talking
talking
about?
to him. The Cavario.
That shit that went viral?
Yeah, the bit went viral with me on the phone.
Doing some
and I was just saying how you supposed to spend 20% of what you got coming in and stuff like that. Because I'm giving them the real game. Like, you know, it's easy. We make this shit look good. We make it look easy, but it's hard work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard work. You know, we done ran into many roadblocks. You know what I'm saying? But I just felt like the more money I get, the more I become undeniable.
Mm.
You gotta let us in.
Yeah.
Like they tried to put a rumor out one time. All them niggas go in the club, they beat niggas up, fight. What nigga want to come in with $3 million worth of jewelry on?
Fighting a nigga.
And fighting the motherfucker. Like, come on, man. You got a motherfucker. I step on his toe, say, man, my bag. I know it's your bag.
Damn,
now we gotta make him the party. You know what I'm saying? Like, now we gotta
be the party.
Yeah, now we gotta make you the party. You know
you the star tonight.
Yeah, you know, it be stuff like that. Like we don't do nothing disrespectful. Like I said, we're a superpower.
Yeah.
So we know who we are, what we are. So we're not really going out looking to start nothing. We trying to get in here and get on the broads. You know what I'm saying? And have a good time.
Yeah.
I'm paying all the DJs, every DJ in Atlanta during that time, except for what you call it that's not here no more. What's the boy name from Fernando?
Fernando, long live Nando, man.
Yeah,
Shout out
Nando.
to the Coalition DJ.
Yeah, man. Man, I'm talking about, I used to pay all of them. Here, play this, play that.
Yeah.
You used to have the clubs used to be like, look, Meech, we not gonna play all of the stuff y'all want to hear because after y'all shit go off, y'all gonna want to leave.
Right. Yeah.
And the whole club gonna leave with y'all.
Yeah.
You know, it had got real bad. Like the last 2 years, 04 and 05, it had got bad. Then, not to mention, Benzino gave us a Source Award.
I ain't know that.
Yeah, we got
y'all went to the awards, right?
we went to the awards. They got
a movie.
Yeah, that shit was like Trina was hosting, and that was the one that they did some type of tribute to Jay Prince, Suge Knight, and Russell Simmons.
That's
So and then I met Tego Calderon because he was sitting right next to me.
Was that a bad light that he put on you by giving you an award? Like giving you too much light?
No, I think that he, you know, at the end of the day, as much stuff or information that it is out there about us, the feds kind of kept a lot of, because we was too much. You know, and I think the feds kind of downplayed a lot of stuff dealing with us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That people don't even understand.
They ain't want y'all to look as big as y'all really was.
Right. You got people that sit up and say, oh, well, they had a drug amount. I think it said something like 495 keys, something like that. And like 200 of them, J-Rock got caught with, red-handed in LA. So he got the. So basically that would put us around 295 keys. So you got a certain podcaster like, well, I don't think they really had that much because they only got caught with these. This is the only keys that they caught up. Because we wasn't getting caught all the time.
Niggas moving right.
We wasn't losing loads.
You gotta think how long y'all run was.
Right.
They had this shit figured out.
I got a 22-year run. And I got a 15-year documented conspiracy. My conspiracy is 15 years. My conspiracy is not from 2000 to 2005. My conspiracy is from 1990 to 2005. And I don't have one word in our indictment. DEA said, the DEA and the Fed said they never seen me with any drugs. They never heard me talk about no drugs. Never seen me make a sale. Well, none of that.
Yeah.
All right, let me break it down so you understand what he's saying, right? He's saying that you got these podcasters because now we're dealing new millennium, and the object is to get on these channels and tear people's legacies down. The other cultures big up people's legacy. Not to say that drug dealing is supposed to be bigged up, but it's a part of our history, and that's what it is, the good and the bad. Just like slavery was a part of our history, and so was drug dealing a part of our history. But he's saying that they'll try and downplay. Say he couldn't have gotten all that money because they can't phantom him getting that much money. They can't phantom him getting nowhere near that money. So that's where they at with that. Let me get up here and get into some talking real quick. Wow. Now we're going to ride. You got these podcasters that come on here. If y'all want to call in, got something to say, the numbers on the screen. You got these I answer live. You got these podcasters that get up here and they're quick to try and, dismantle, their cultural hood icons because they can't phantom it. Thank God they wouldn't do it or enter it. But instead of just leaving it alone, they feel intimidated and they're at odds with our history and our legends because we're still living. No one get their props until they're deceased. And that's the sad but truthful part. I was out here when Tupac was out here and they hated Tupac. It's funny because I sat in my jail cell for 26 years and I watched so many people, talk about how cool they was with Tupac. And I know they feared Tupac and they thought he was ignorant, arrogant, and everything else. Let's keep it real. Don't forget, Janet Jackson made him take the alphabet test before she even kissed him in the movie Poetic Justice. That's how they looked at Tupac, like he said he was a thug. Just so you understand. Now, it's real like that. And that's how the street is. And that's why I say don't get involved. All right? Let's bring it up.
And I signed for 30 years.
They just see you balling.
That's it. That's why I said balling can't be a crime. Like, you don't charge him. Oh, he got too many cars. What did I do to get the cars? You got to figure it out.
You got to prove that shit.
Yeah, right.
What the fuck?
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff that they was doing to me, personally, like, people didn't understand.
That shit was more so out of like, every generation, or probably not this generation, but start from your era and even back then, it's always like influential black men that them people look at like leaders, and it don't even be about what the fuck they doing. Like, it might not even be about the drugs or the money or the parties. They don't like, they didn't like influence. You see what I'm saying?
Well, the influence.
And you think that was probably the biggest part?
That played a major part, along with me showing that you could get away with it. That it was the right way to do wrong. Yeah. That's besides my influence, because the influence definitely played a part.
Because you got to think, it's so many niggas in different states, different sets, Crips, Blood, probably GD, with all, you know what I'm saying? And niggas is getting along. Niggas is showing each other love. Niggas is rocking with each other.
They getting the best results.
Come on, man.
You getting the better results.
And they'll look at that shit like, man,
that's what our city always been. We've had our city all.
Before he get to his city, right? Boosie, keep in mind, did you hear the part where he left off at when he said that there's a right to doing wrong?
Yeah, I kind of remember.
Now, he just said, I'm going to run it back because I want you to speak on this right here.
All right.
Well, none of that.
Yeah.
And I signed for 30 years.
They just see you balling.
That's it. That's why I said balling can't be a crime. Like, you don't charge him. Oh, he got too many cars. What did I do to get the cars? You got to figure it out.
You got to prove that shit. Yeah,
right.
What the fuck?
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff that they was doing to me, personally, like people didn't
That
understand.
shit was more so out of like, you know, every generation, or you know, probably not this generation, but start from your era and even back then, it's always like influential black men that them people look at like leaders, and it don't even be about what the fuck they doing. Like it might not even be about.
Yeah, my man joint keep popping out. But I want Boosie to speak on this part from his generation, because we're reaching out to the next generation as well. And they have a voice. So it's not like my generation, because we're triple OGs, that, you know, they're not still OGs, you know? All right. You ready, Boosie?
Yeah.
All right. The question is coming up that I want you to speak on right now. Listen. The statement that he made.
The drugs or the money or the parties, they don't like, they didn't like
The
influence.
That's
You
right.
see what I'm saying?
Well, the influence,
And you think that was probably the biggest part?
That played a major part, along with me showing that you could get away with it. That it was the right way to do wrong.
Right there. What do you think he mean when he say right way to do wrong? In your words, think about it. What do he mean when he say that they mad because he showed that there was a right way to do wrong?
Meaning, even though he hustling, selling drugs, he was doing it the right way. Meaning not to get caught. No one really knows what he's doing unless you are actually there and a part of it. And while he's doing wrong, he's still spreading love. Like he said, when he go in them clubs, he got $350,000 worth of singles and $5 bills. He's throwing them out and he's giving back from something that he actually is outside doing wrong. So they didn't want that to be expressed so other people can think they can dictate it, which we all know the feds love when somebody dictates it because it keep them with a job. But he was doing wrong, but he was doing it right and doing it smooth. And I always tell people, and I've heard it from, you know, some scholars saying the drug dealers are the best businessmen, because if they could sell them type of drugs and can't promote it on a high scale on commercials and things of that nature and can make money like that, they'll make the best legal businessmen on this planet, and that's a fact.
All right.
Yeah.
That's besides my influence, because the influence definitely played a part.
Cause you gotta think, it's so many niggas in different states, different sets, Crips, Blood, probably GD with all, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
niggas is getting along. Niggas is showing each other love. Niggas is rocking with
They
each other.
getting the best results.
Come on, man.
You getting the better results.
And
like,
they'll look at that shit like, man, you know
but
what
you know, that's what our city always been. Our city always been, we get along when it comes to the money, when it comes to getting the money. The only problem with our city is we had hate just like everybody else when it comes to these females.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Dudes fall out over the female.
Tender.
Some dudes tender dick, some dudes pillow talk. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's why I said the thing about
dangerous attributes.
Right. That's why I said, you know, you gotta, if you got a girl that don't want to be shit, you got some girls that like I want to fuck with him and him.
Yeah.
Or I want to fuck with the whole crew. And we keep them around. You let them. It's not a problem. Like, we don't look at her in a bad. She gets taken care. Not certain girls wish they was her.
Yeah.
Then you got the one that hey, this is my main one, or this is my main number
my baby
two,
mama, whatever the
right,
fuck. Well,
right.
niggas know
you know,
who
so,
off limits. Niggas know
right. You know
everything
who
else
off limits. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you can keep it like that, and that was surprising with our crew. Like, even with our crew, and we never had no issues over girls. But I know who the tender dick dudes is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big shout out to Rock Fresh 1993, Rock. Big shout out. We hear what he said. He know who the tender dick dudes is, Rock. Those are the type dudes that I call, but I love a dog, right? Now, let me break it down to you so you know what a love a dog dude is, right? I'm gonna crank back up. A love a dog dude, right, Rock Fresh 1993. I'm gonna tell you this direct. A lover dog dude is the type of dude that no matter what his girl do, he always wind up giving you the same answer. But I love a dog. Yo, that new Mercedes-Benz you just bought, she had somebody else driving it, and he had another female in it. Was this and her and you? Man, what you gonna do about it? You gonna go see her? You gonna go see him? Nah, you know. But I love a dog. What? You still gonna be with after all this? But I love a dog. And that's what he's talking about when he say a tender dick dude. And those are the ones that tear down a whole crew and a whole organization, no matter how good it's functioning. Those are the ones that tear it down. So you understand. All right. What do you think about that, boo? All right.
I think about it as like you used to say back in the days when you first met me. You was like, I don't really rock with dudes that got girls, man. But at this time, I was with my child's mother at this time. Me and her still was together. And you kind of made an exception to the rule, and you really didn't pay it no attention because really you wasn't like, I wasn't around you all the time holding, you had to be holding my hand, making moves. But I used to ask you why you don't really rock with men that got women. You said because later on down the road, God forbid something to happen, they ain't gonna try to leave that woman, and they gonna tell something. And then what Meech is also saying is they stayed tight because they wasn't pressed for no girl. They knew that if they got a main girl, all friends know that that's off limit. But if it's just a girl that's hanging around us and she choose a friend and say, yo, I want to mess with him. Oh, all right, keep it in the family. That's how we always roll. Oh, no, you keeping it in the family. All right, go get him something. We ain't sitting around like, oh, she gonna get him something. And now I'm mad at my homeboy because she want to get him something. Nah, when he come back, we like, yo, you had a good time? You liked it? No, okay, we on to the next female anyway. We ain't never been like that with no women ever. But we never disrespected women. Let's get that straight. It's always just been kept real. And that's why we always got the love that we always got from women. And it always was respect.
Listen, you can't disrespect someone that you're treating how they want to be treated. That's on you, Boots. I'm going through. I'm good. You know, if anything, come on and come back in real quick. All right?
Got you. But yeah, you know, when it comes to that, man, we got to keep the team tight at all times. Never let money come between your team and women. And when I say money, money always be the root to the evil because you be checking the next man pockets. Like I always told Unique, they mentioned Cavario on here. Me and Unique did a interview on on Vlad. It was Unique's interview. He brought me in, and Cavario asked, you know, those questions, and I had to break it down to him. Like we would, I would never watch my brother pockets. Not meaning just Unique. Any one of my friends, if one of them getting 100 million, or let's don't even go that big. If one of them is getting 50,000, and I just got 5,000 out of whatever we might be doing, I'm happy with that 5,000 because I'm gonna take that 5,000 and I'm gonna try and make me 50,000. And I tell my boy, put your money up. I'm gonna buy you some food or might get you an outfit or something out of my 5,000. That's what keeps the crew tight. Never worry about the next man's pockets. Never. We are here to keep each other rocking and rolling and striving. So if you worry about that, that's a no-no. If you're worrying about what your man and what girl he's jaying, or if the girl come around and you met her first and she start liking you, one of the people out of the team, you probably just wasn't her type. And she like one of them. It's gonna be a bunch of fly dudes around if y'all are a team and getting money. So you gotta respect that and let her, you know, all right, cool. I just wasn't your type. Don't sit back and be mad. Your boy pull up with a fly new car. You don't got enough to go and get a car like that. When he pull up, I'm gonna congratulate him. Yo, that joint look hard. Oh man, you about to make me go extra hard now. I gotta get one of them. Let me hold that man some time and ride around and, you know, do my stunting. I'm not even gonna ride in the car and be fronting and tell nobody it's mine. I'm gonna say, nah, this is my man joint. Let me hold it, man. He ain't even thinking about it. I've been riding around in it for 2-3 days, man. I'm ducking him too, even if I like it. But it's my man car. We only strive to be the best when we stick together. We only gonna be the best when we stick together. That wall gonna be so tight, nobody can't come in it and break it down. Even the police can't. Because like what Meech was just saying, he makes sure that his whole team is tight. None of us is getting no argument about no girls. We're not gonna be no tender dicks. That's mainly what he's saying. Because they kept a lot of women around, man. And I want to go back to the part where the strippers was concerned. Them guys, when I first went to Magic City, true story, I walked in there, I'm like, damn, this place small as hell. But you hear Jeezy and Jermaine Dupri, all of them talking about how they threw 10,000, 100,000, 150. Then you heard about Meech and them throwing 100, 200,000 in there. I literally seen strippers pulling up to work, riding around drop top Benzes, pulling up in Bentleys. That's when you knew that the game was changing from the stripper game. The strippers was not actually just coming in there making college money. They was living in nice condos in Atlanta, nice houses in Atlanta, all because of guys like Meech and whoever else contributed to that movement out there, man. It was powerful. It was a powerful movement, and now I seen what it was, and I even seen that, the Magic City documentary. Y'all got to look at that and see how hard the man who owned Magic City started off. It wasn't even. It was he started off with a bunch of kinks in there until those rappers started coming in, and then the big hustlers started coming in, and that what took Atlanta to the next level with women out there stripping and outdoing the hustlers, riding around in them big boy toys, man. This whole Meech interview right here is very powerful and is very meaningful, and there's a lot of messages that he's giving off in this actual interview. And it's not to highlight or glorify hustling. Y'all can see where he came from all the way up to date to basically let y'all know that'll never be dictated again, ever. It'll never. That's why the actual podcasters can't see that far, that type of money was coming, because now up to date, nobody will never get money like that now due to all the snitching that's going on. People telling in the police car. They have budgets now for people that's snitching. People that went to jail, did their time, didn't snitch on nobody, come home, and outside is totally different to them now. They can't get jobs because they're a felon. And they hear about a program where you can go downtown, sign up just to be a snitch, and easily get up under somebody now because they know that you was thorough, you did your time, but they didn't know you went and signed up to actually be a rat.
All right, so answer this then, Bootsy, right here on the screen. Take your time and read that and answer that.
It's I had plenty of stories about men from back in the days that started snitching after they heard somebody was sleeping with their old lady on the streets while they was locked up in prison. Facts. That goes back to what they said Nicky Barnes did. Nicky Barnes and them had a pact. They said that if anything ever happens, nobody never sleeps with each other's wives. And it happened, and he heard about it, and he told. But that still don't give you no reason to tell, period. You still do your time. You come home. That's equivalent to you in one room and your co-defendant in the other room, and they say, well, your co-defendant is over there telling us that you did this, y'all did that. It happened with me and my co-defendant, D-Mac. And I had to tell him, I don't care what he's telling you. He's telling you something to save his life. I was just getting a ride. So I don't know what was in that car. And then when they put us back in the cell, come to find out, they was telling him the same thing about me, and he didn't fall for it. So there's never no good thing because somebody sleep with your woman. That's just an excuse at all times. That just to tell. Because at the end of the day, that's a tender ass dude too. Facts.
All right. Let me tell you one to pivot off of what he just said, right? I got a homie just did like 24, 25 years. He just come home from the feds. He out, he doing his things now, legally, it's not working out right. He decided to tap back into the street world. And he's driving his joint down the street. I might bring him on here. If y'all want to hear him tell the story, let me know. I'll bring him on here. He's still locked up now in the feds, right? He come home after 25 years, and they watching him. They put a track on his truck. He on the track on the truck. The day they went to take the track off the truck, he driving down the street. He see another one of the homies. The homie told him, man, you got a van down. Let me put some furniture in there. I got to move for my girl. He said, yeah, put him in a joint. You know what I mean? And, he gets in the car with him. They driving, and as they driving, they see the police lights behind them. So now they see the police lights behind them. They pull them over, and they told him, well, it's a good day, good news today. We got ready to take the tracker off the car. We had a tracker on you. He didn't even know the tracker was on the car. They said, but we got to search the car, one last time before we take it off. They searched the joint. He got a half a key in it. They take the keys to his house. After they take him down to the police station, go back in his house. They find 5 keys and a bunch of artillery. And he told them from right there in the precinct that the dude didn't have nothing to do with it. He was just giving them a ride to, drop off furniture. Of course, they made him go through the process, but my man stuck with the story, and he copped out to 10 years from the police station and made out like a bandit. How many of y'all would do that? His man had nothing to do with it. His man just asked for a ride. He just came home after 25 years. Of course, he don't want to go back, but his morals won't allow him to go backwards and not to go back. His morals won't allow him to, switch sides temporarily, like I see a lot of y'all do out here, just to go back, And, that's what it is. Now, the one who's ungrateful to others is ungrateful to God. This is saying of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Well said. But, that's where we at, man. So let me get back to this joint real quick. Let me get back to this.
But y'all bid off them niggas though,
right?
To their face,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's still
face.
love,
It's still love. So like, if you can get a group of men that can get that out of their system, then that's a one recipe for success. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's big when you got to find all the ways to get along, to stay together, instead of finding any reason to fall out and fall apart.
Yeah. You could change anything. You wouldn't change shit with
Nothing. Not even in 20 years in prison.
Yeah.
Because it was a hell of a learning experience.
I say that all the time, and I always gotta say, like, I ain't trying to sound cool or trying to sound fried and burnt out, but wallahi, bro, prison was the best thing that ever happened to me. Going to the feds was the best thing that ever happened to me. If I would not have went to prison when I went, I would probably be in jail right now for way longer, God forbid. I appreciate that shit. If God asked me right now, if he say, look, Bezo, I take this shit back, you can redo it, would you do it? I would say no in a heartbeat. The best thing that ever happened to me.
Because you might not be you.
I wouldn't have learned a lot of shit. I wouldn't have grew mentally. I wouldn't have understood a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? What it is to be a real man. You heard I was still moving like a kid, moving like a shorty, thinking shit sweet, not understanding how these people work. And it took for me to go to the feds to even become more strategic with how I move and more disciplined. Because one thing about the feds, both of y'all know that the feds is political and disciplined. Yeah. Certain shit not flying in the feds. Niggas gotta go up top 30 days for not having a paperwork. A nigga not walking no certain yard at all whatsoever if that work ain't straight, for one. And a nigga can't put that on no nigga without having no proof. And a nigga that put that on a nigga, he got to go up top for saying that. You can't even say that in the Fed.
And guess what? If y'all don't send them up top, then we going to send the whole crowd up top. We're going to run all y'all up.
All y'all got to go. Because y'all let this nigga put this allegation on. You can't do that in the Feds. And that shit showed me so much structure. And I implemented that discipline and that structure that I learned being in the Feds. I implemented that shit in my everyday life. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so basically what he's saying, so y'all understand to break that down, right? Basically what he's saying is, in the feds, when you're in a real penitentiary, you can't call a dude hot and don't have the paperwork. If you don't have the paperwork, it's his obligation, it's his duty to punish you. If he don't punish you, then we take that as the allegation is true. We know you could just be soft, but no, we're gonna treat you like you's a rat. Because if you soft and and there's an allegation on you, nah, you gotta go. If you soft and that's just who you are, that's one thing. You're respectable, you're by all means welcome to stay. But when a dude say that someone is hot, he airlifts him out of there. No questions asked. And that's the way that go. But out here, they get on YouTube and they call each other hot. This one told, they got all these speculations because there's no consequences. There's just a paycheck from YouTube for that. And that's what I see is messing up the game right now. If people at least respected the code enough in their life, they wouldn't go up here on YouTube and talk reckless out their mouth about another man that they know is not actual. Just so you understand. All right? Let's bring this back up.
I did most of my time out west.
Yeah.
Out west and in the Northwest, heavy politics.
They ever had you in the USP?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
ain't
was in
never.
Lewisburg.
You was in Lewisburg?
I was in USP.
That shit's so fucking political, ain't it?
Yeah.
You was in the Smooth program?
I was in the Smooth program. When it was 18
How long
months.
they had you in the Smooth?
2 years.
Get the fuck out of
I did 3 total. I did 9 months waiting to go in the hole, in the shoe. And then I did 2 more years in 23-1.
They put niggas in the Smooth program that they feel like got too much influence. How that shit
Right.
ain't that way?
It's
like got too much influence on
I'm
the
gonna tell you the
yards.
criteria what they used to say. I was in Atlanta shoe in 2011 when I crashed. I crashed with the DC dudes over at Jessup. But my influence was so strong on that yard that they told me and they asked me, my right-hand man was Big Fry from West Palm Beach. He like 350 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So the incident we had with the DC dudes, it really wasn't an incident with me and them per se, because we both have respect for each other.
Yeah.
I respect the DC crowd, they respect me and my people. But it was a dude that was from Miami/New York. Basically, they wanted to beat him up and do some things to him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they knew that him and I was kind of on the outs.
Mm-hmm.
But again, just like the one situation I had just told you about, I couldn't see letting them do nothing to him.
Facts, because he under the
So
car.
when they swung on him and Fry got in the middle of it, I told him, get your shoes on. We was out on the ride. Get your shoes on. Let's go.
Yeah.
Put his shoes on because he was waiting to play volleyball next. I had to put my shoes on. We go in the gym. He swung on the first DC nigga. He seen, and like 3 or 4 of them rushed.
Yeah.
So I started slanging niggas off on him. So it was like one of my mans from New York, one of my mans from Savannah, and me was the ones that was really fighting. you know. But it was no cameras in the gym. And
Yeah,
just,
it ain't.
and then we had the door. So the DC dudes couldn't get out without us leaving.
Mm.
So it was a 5-minute move, just so happened. But when we finished fighting, Fry was like, "No, I finished it." I'm like, "Fuck no, I'm going to get my knife." You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because these niggas ain't gonna play fair.
Not DC niggas.
So we all racing down the sidewalk, walking as fast as we can, to try to get back to the unit. I got a couple of dudes that's I'm cool with in my unit. Like they like, "Damn, Meech, what's up?" I'm like, "Man, hold up." Let me get, go get my shit. So I get my shit, then pull up on them like, "Man, the man's number was on some bullshit." But long story short, they black boxed me and Fry. They asked me, "Did you want them to go the opposite way of you or with you?" I said, "No, send them with me." So we go to they black box us, didn't tell the region or nobody, and shot us straight up to Atlanta. 4-hour trip. When we got there, of course, I had my way. So I had a cell phone.
Yeah.
In the shoe. So I'm talking to my people. Man, look up SMU Lewisburg. My mama called crying.
Yeah.
She was crying. Every woman in my life at that time was crying when they talked to me. "Oh my God, why they sending you there?
Yeah.
What they sending you there for?"
Shoe program.
Because it said The smooth program is
Yeah,
for the most
smooth.
violent, disruptive inmates in the FBOP.
That's just another word for most influential.
Yeah, that's what they saying. So it's lawsuits though on it. It's lawsuits on it where the police done killed motherfuckers. Because they throwing motherfuckers down the stairs and shit. You got black box handcuffs on behind you.
You can't catch yourself.
Yeah.
You got it behind you, so you can't break the fall on your face or nothing. And however bad you are, you the worst of the worst, they put you on the third. Because it's blind. Lewisburg is one of the oldest prisons next to Atlanta. So it's blind spots. You know what I'm saying?
Camera can't see.
Right.
I feel like they do that shit on purpose. They make sure they got some blind spots in there.
Oh, yeah. And then, we gotta, not saying that anyone is deserving of that kind of treatment, but like, that's like ordering your food. That's like cussing out the person in the drive-thru that gotta fix your food. They gotta make your food, yeah. So why you gonna cuss the CO out when every time you leave out this cell, you gotta put your handcuffs on. And he gotta bring your tray, the food and everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They cut the water off in 5 minutes. You gotta shower in 5 minutes.
I've been to the shoe. I know how that
and
shit
they'll tell you cuff up, and you don't cuff up, they gassing you.
I know exactly how that shoe works.
So you know that, like, I had to do that for 2 years. I did phase 1 and 2 at Lewisburg, and I did phase 3 and 4 at Florence, Colorado, USP.
But what the fuck was the smooth program? Like, they said that shit the worst shit ever.
They disbanded it now. It don't work.
So it's over with.
Yeah, ain't no more. They changed.
So Hoover ain't in the shoe.
No, he was in ADX.
Oh, he was in ADX. That's what I'm thinking about. ADX.
So now that he got
ADX.
the pardon, he should be somewhere in the state.
Got it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he got to still get a government. He needed a special pardon, which is called a governmental pardon. Right. That's a pardon from the governor and a pardon from the president. So he got the pardon from the president, but he ain't have the pardon from the governor right now. He get that, he home.
What's one of the craziest days you've seen in there? Like, man, this shit, wow.
The craziest day, you know what? The craziest time I seen in there is when them people start getting, when K2 wasn't K2 no more.
Oh, man, that Tune. You seen niggas have an episode of the Tunchi, bro?
What?
Nigga, I watched a nigga fight a trash can in that motherfucker, bro.
I see the devil.
Yes,
niggas scream, running around naked.
Man,
all
them episodes,
kind of shit, like,
hey, little bro, them episodes off the Tunchi, that shit is real.
Man,
that
a motherfucker,
man. Man, I done seen
standing
niggas
up rocking like this. Standing up rocking, but
me leaning up.
You like, man, what the fuck? Like, that shit was weird as hell, man. Like, some real weirdo shit.
We ain't let none of our homies smoke the Tunchi.
Man,
we ain't really like
them up,
that.
putting them at the door.
Yeah.
We had a CO. When I could hit my first low at Forest City, Arkansas, we had a CO lady. She was like, listen, I don't mess with y'all drugs. I don't mess with y'all phones. I'm not going to have nobody fuck our count up. So if you know somebody that smoked that shit and they fucked the count up, she said, y'all could do what y'all want to them, just don't kill them. But put him at the front door, and I'll make sure SIS don't fuck with y'all or none of that.
Yeah.
Miss Dillon, we got one to go.
Oh, so she basically like the Tune, only thing gonna fuck this bid up. I ain't trying to see no episodes, none of that shit.
None of that shit.
Yeah.
None, don't mess my count up.
Yeah.
So in my unit, it was probably one Mexican dude that smoked the Tunchi that can handle it.
Right. No, I know a couple niggas that can handle it.
He lay back on his bunk and can handle it. And when I got to Forest City, like 2 people had died already. So they was taking it serious, but it was crazy. I seen 2 deaths. Then before I left, it was 2 more deaths.
Damn.
You know.
So the I ain't know that. I ain't know like the Tunchi and the K2 is basically different. 2 different things. I thought K2. I thought Tunchi was just a nickname for the.
Nah. It's for
the K2.
The thing is that people start putting anything on that paper. And you can tell, but dudes start swimming on the floor and licking they throw up. That's one of the famous moves. And I used to we used to video record them and be like, look,
show a nigga.
Like, I ain't used to using a drug that I can't do in front of a woman. Like, I can't, we could drink, we could smoke some weed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can't.
Y'all
I
had
don't,
white lightning in that motherfucker.
what?
That white lightning
Man, I
was
was
that
the
shit.
king of white lightning, man.
That bitch was that shit.
I was the king.
My nigga Blood from Bounty Hunters, man. Shout out to B-Thing, man. My nigga Blood from the Hunters out of LA, bro. That nigga was the coldest nigga with the white lightning, man.
Yeah, listen. I used to, man, that's what helped me pass a good time in that motherfucker.
That white lightning.
And then, you know, it got to where, you know, they really don't like you to drink because, you know, a lot of dudes can't handle it.
Yeah.
And they get on the CO.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so a couple of officers been killed behind dudes getting drunk and all that type of stuff. So they really don't, that's something that they don't really like, okay. But one thing about me, I think I was known for drinking and known for getting everybody around me drunk.
Yeah.
But I kept everybody in line.
Yeah.
You gotta understand that's something that I'm just used to doing. Like, you don't start acting crazy because you got a little liquor on you, else you ain't never drinking with me no more. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about, I got to Coleman. I came home October 15, 2024. I got to Coleman, Florida to the low in February around the Super Bowl time. And I stayed there from February to October. I probably spent like 70,000 on white lightning.
On white lightning.
On white lightning. Getting the majority of my unit fucked up.
Yeah.
So he whipping up the white lightning looking for you.
Absolutely.
Hey, Meech, you know what's crazy? I ain't feel like I was in jail till I went to the shoe.
Yeah.
I ain't feel like I was in jail until I went to the shoe. That's when I felt like I was in jail.
Like I was on Bill.
But see, I was in a low though. You know what I'm saying? I was in a satellite.
Yeah, that's why.
Y'all niggas was in motherfucking USPs and mediums and shit.
Listen, when that door locked, you in prison, man.
Yeah.
When that door locked, you can't go out there and get you no ice. None of that shit. When you gotta tear your celly cover up, cause you finna use the bathroom.
Yeah.
You know you in prison.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You trying to spray.
They blowing the room.
Yeah, that's the only time I had it.
flushing.
That's the only time a door locked on me.
You know
was
what I'm saying? Like
in the shoe.
that.
I was in
Like-
pain and I was like that.
Yeah. So you know when you behind that door, man, that's a whole different monster. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to have a celly that you can actually be it with.
Be it with and trust.
So I wasn't taking any celly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, I never told nobody as far as administration that I was a Crip.
Yeah.
But I was on gang time.
Yeah.
And that's why niggas even love and respected me more. Like, damn, dude on
Meech
gang
still
time.
on gang
Yeah,
time,
I'm on
nigga.
gang time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's rules and it's politics. And I like that heavy politics. And I know that we ain't no hot motherfuckers in our car.
Facts.
You see, some people harbor motherfuckers because
do.
they got money. Oh, he got money, so we ain't trying to let nobody
Or a nigga
know.
use, you know what's crazy, right? Like I'm a real Muslim. Like I'm a real Muslim. I've been Muslim way before I even got indicted. Like I've been Muslim. You know, and I take my deen serious. Like, you know what I mean? My wife Muslim, my kids Muslim, right? But when I got to jail, I was on Detroit time because it just felt like a lot of niggas was running with the Muslims for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, they can go by their attribute instead of their name. So we can't pull that work.
Yeah, the email used to always talk shit to me, bro.
Because all is forgiven.
What you want a dean? You want a doing you? Or hey, look, bro, it is what it is.
That's right.
Niggas got bad names. I can't be in this bitch on Muslim time. I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
You got child molesters and everything.
Everything. Yeah. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Man, you been in that bitch. Man, you was in that motherfucker for what? 18, 22?
A dub.
20.
You did a dub straight?
I went in 37, came out 57.
God damn. That's a long motherfucking time. Man, when my stupid ass got out of jail, bro, I posted my motherfucking paperwork on the internet. My Uncle Cat called me and say, nephew, what the fuck is you doing? I say, what you talking about? Like, man, take that stupid ass shit off your Instagram. I'm like, shit, man, I'm just letting niggas know. You know, they say any nigga hot. When you got a name, you turned up, you automatically hot. Before I even went to jail, niggas thought I had a case I didn't even have. I ain't got no co-defense. I got a stupid ass gun case. You heard? Niggas saying a nigga hot before I even got there. I immediately had my paperwork. Ooh, wow. So when I get out of jail, though, right, I post my paperwork. My uncle say, bro, take that shit down. I'm like, what's the problem? You know what he told me? He say, nephew, You did 18 punk ass months. I did 20 years. You don't even got the right to say whether you hot or not.
Yeah, that's
Fuck is you talking about? I swear to God, my Uncle Cat told me that shit. I swear to God, man.
That's less than me.
Shout out to the dog, man.
And he right, because a lot of man, I'm telling you, when you've been locked up them 20 years, let me tell you something that go on. And this is personal. You got a lot of people that may have like life sentences or 50, 60 years in that motherfucker. Like my man Mike Nitty, shout out to Mike Nitty. He had 55 years. No violence.
Mm.
He don't got life, but he don't got 20 either. He got 55
years for non-violent case.
Non-violent drug case.
He ain't got back yet?
No, they ain't gave him nothing.
God damn.
Listen, you got people, and like, even with me having 30 and some lifers that I ran into first that was showing me how to be it, man, that's a hurting feeling when you getting ready to transfer to another yard or you finna go home.
Mm.
Cause they look at you like family and they done got you have some lifers that like to be standoffish because they don't want to be too used to because they gonna hate to see you go.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? They really gonna hate to see you go like, damn, man, you going home and we've been being together and I ain't never going home.
God damn.
You know what I'm saying? There wasn't nothing like what was going on now to where you got hope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was in the jail. Every nigga had it out there.
Yeah, you got hope now. You know what I'm saying? But back then, just learning how to be it and seeing dudes that felt like they were never getting out and that was kind of old men or older men at the time. Man, that's a hurt feeling, man, when you can't tell them motherfucker nothing but that you praying for them.
Man.
And that's all you got.
Not to cut you off, you had a man's in there like, yo, Ace Boone Coon, like, damn, bro, I'm gone, bro.
I had a, not so much at the lowest level, but at the low, I got a partner named Chico. He did time. He started out with my brother. He from Orlando, Florida. And Chico got 38 years. Chico drove up here from Orlando, Florida, met a Colombian on Telegraph, I think, on Telegraph. The Colombian was supposed to have 10 bricks at 11,000 a brick. Chico had 11,000 on it, enough money for one. That's all the feds needed to lock him in. It's some money. He could have had $1,000. As long as he had some money, because the feds can't front no work. So that's why if you in the game and you really know like, oh, these Colombians coming, they're gonna drop a bag on me. Okay, as long as they don't ask you for no money. Because now when you start doing business with money, that's when you can run into the feds. You see what I'm saying?
They can't do it. They can't
even if they tell you, man, just my driver need 50,000. Nah, man, I give it to you after I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get just to put you up on game, like you.
Because all you got to do is hand them bitches the cheese.
Hand them any type of money.
They got their conspiracy.
That's it.
Damn.
That's it. You got something towards the purchase.
Man, these niggas don't even be understanding that conspiracy. That shit is real, bro.
Yeah, they don't know the rules of the game, man. Listen,
like you see how many niggas are getting indicted off Instagram, bro.
Man, I'll tell you something better than that. Let me, man, my rent due. I come to you, Big Ice, man. I'm $1,500 to pay my rent.
Yeah.
I turn around and go buy some drugs. You know, you in that conspiracy.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? They don't just always do it like that, but it's possible.
It can happen.
You know what I'm saying? You gave nigga got tears big as biscuits in his eyes telling you he need 10,000, he got to take care of his family and this, that, and the other. And you like, here, go ahead. Now he turn around and go buy half a block or something.
It's a true story, bro. This nigga had a KFC indictment, right? Nigga, he love when I tell it. Jetto like this story. You heard? Nigga got a KFC indictment, bro. That nigga cousin, right, was really under indictment. He was really getting investigated. He was allegedly whatever, brick man. You know what I'm saying? They was watching him. Phone been tapped for a while. They been on him, right? And when he'll bust a play, you know what I'm saying? Nigga order a whole wing or, you know,
Right.
and a biscuit, you know what I'm saying? A half of woo-wop, right?
Right.
So dude was a regular 9-to-5 nigga, had a real job, all this shit. So the nigga that was under indictment that was being watched for a while now, right? He used his cousin called him. What's up? What's up, because you still pulling up to my mama crib? He like, yeah, I'm on my way now. He say, hey, the auntie cook. He said, no. He like, all right, I'm gonna go grab some food. I'm about to grab some liquor and I'm gonna grab some food. And I'm gonna pull up over there. You show auntie ain't cook. He said, no. He like, all right, cool. Hung up, called his cousin back. Cousin, I'm at KFC. I'll be over there in a minute. What you want? Man, she just ordered, just give me 2 wings and a biscuit. That nigga got indicted. That nigga doing 10 years on a conspiracy. And they, guess what? The nigga literally was at KFC. The cousin was literally at KFC. But mind you though, his phone tap, he being followed. They done got him on shit. They already seen him. And when he really was doing whatever he was doing, he was saying this same kind of terminology. Nigga, the cousin that don't do shit, that literally ordered food,
got tied in.
got 10 years and he ain't got back. He ain't got back at all whatsoever.
You know, I made peace with myself and said that I'm doing time for what I got away with.
Mm.
You know, you're not doing time for what they saying on paper, because they had no evidence against me. So I realized I'm doing time for what I got away with. All the shit I got away with, you know what you got away with.
Absolutely.
In life. You know what you done in life. You don't got to never speak on it. You know the things that you've done. I know the things that I've done. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying I did time for what I got away with.
Mm.
You know, now the Lord still brought us home early, brought my brother home in 15 years.
You really ain't come home early though.
Nah. I came home 7 years early.
How though? Because you got 28 years.
Okay. No, I had 30 years. Now what happened is you had the first step back. Before the first step back. You had the First Amendment, I think that was the 782. What they did is my brother was a category 1. A category 1. So he got 68 months off on the 782 amendment.
Mm.
I took my time because they didn't want to give me 68 months off. So I took my time before I filed the 782 amendment. Now, which was all drugs minus 2, right? So when I filed the 782, they like, look, you can't get no more than 36 months off because you're a category 2. Now, the reason why I was a category 2, because the judge gave me 2 points for getting off of probation in 91. My conspiracy is from 1990 to 2005.
Right.
The judge say, since you was getting off probation in 91, that was during the existence of the conspiracy, so you get 2 points for that.
God damn.
So that way that was what made me a category 2.
Yeah.
And I got only 36 months off. Thank God Trump come out with
First Step Back.
Before the First Step Back. He come out with you can't something
you talking
like
about when
that.
they changed the crack law?
What I'm talking about when he changed the it was the 2-point
reduction.
Yeah, he gave me a 2-point reduction, like
for nonviolent.
They had to take the pistol off. You can't do that no more. It was during the existence of the conspiracy, so you give me points for that and push me over in a further category.
Right.
I was supposed to be in the kid. So I got that before I got the First Step Act. I was already receiving time credits for the First Step Act, but it wouldn't kick me out because the BOP was faking like they don't know how to work it. Trump put the First Step Act in December of 18.
Yeah, I watched a lot of niggas go home off that.
Right. But they act like they ain't know how to do it to 23.
Damn.
It took them 5 years to learn how to do it.
I watched a couple niggas go home off the First Step Back.
Yeah, but they doing it on their own. You got to do your own shit.
They was doing it on their own. That's a fact.
Got to.
No, them niggas did it on their own.
And the BOP was acting like they don't know what's going on.
Because I was on the list to go home.
Because it was every nigga that I watched, and it wasn't a lot, but I watched a couple niggas get out while I was in jail, go home off the First Step Act. But them niggas in the law library for months. And them niggas beating the law library down years before I
Yeah.
got to that motherfucker.
Man, my counselor told me I wasn't locked up long enough. He hold me in
This
that
nigga
bitch.
trying to get that nigga had a 3-year bid trying to get the first
That nigga
step
said I
act, man.
wasn't
That nigga
locked up
crazy
long
the
enough.
motherfucker,
Man. You know, they turn 6 months into a year.
That
Yeah.
first
And,
step act,
yeah, you get a year off if you're a low recidivism.
You get like 12
You
days
get-
off each
You
month.
get 1 year off, you get 15 days off. If you're a medium,
and you was
get
able to
10
get RDAT once they took that gun.
Man, I'm not going no hard that.
You couldn't do RDAT?
I ain't want it.
Why
I
the
ain't
fuck
wanna
you
do
want?
it.
That's a year off.
Man, there I do
Because
the
the
year.
bid was born.
No. I mean, they you gotta understand when you get released under RDAP, your probation is different.
Oh, I ain't know that. I
Yeah.
ain't know that.
You walking on eggshells. They got zero tolerance.
You
I
fuck
ain't
up,
know
you can
that.
go
You-
back.
you
And they
coming
take the
from-
year back.
You
Right.
got this.
I ain't take it
I
because
couldn't get it because I had a gun.
I ain't want to waste
If
it.
you get
God
if you
forget, I
get
ain't
regular
going
supervised release,
Yeah,
like what I got. Not that I plan on fucking up, but you got a chance.
right.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? You got a chance with the RDAP, you got zero
Low
tolerance. Zero.
No tolerance.
Zero tolerance.
I swear to God, I
You
never
can fuck
fucking
about
knew
here
that.
and
And
go
you
back.
got aftercare. Yeah, you could. They could find a piece of Tunchi in your pocket in the halfway house, and that'll send you back.
I did not know that. I ain't fucking know that. Man, before we wrap this motherfucker up, Meech, man, you know what I'm saying? I just want to tell you, you really motivated me for a long time since I was a young nigga, just watch you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate the relationship we got now. Like, you really like a homie of mine, you know what I'm saying? We
Right.
kick it. You heard? We got a bond, we got a relationship outside of this shit, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Man, shit, that's all I knew where y'all catch on to that later. Man, like before we leave, I gotta ask, you know, we real gangsters, bro. We real stand-up guys, right? Me being the rapper and being an artist and being in the limelight, right? I'm used to the internet. I understand this shit. You was gone 20 years,
Right.
right? I'm sure y'all ain't had like trolls and shit back then. And I ain't saying nobody specifically. I'm just talking about overall. You heard? Like, I understand how this shit go. I deal with so many niggas that I don't know, niggas that never met me, niggas that don't know nothing about me, won't say nothing to me when they see me. None of that. And I'm not saying that like talking like a tough nigga.
Like
Just
a tough guy.
I'm just being a man.
exactly
You know
how
what
you
I'm saying?
mean.
I got a son that look up to me, bro. You know what I mean? I gotta stand on, man. You heard? But I understand how this shit go with motherfuckers just saying shit and just bitch ass niggas, like, bro, just trolling ass niggas and
You
niggas
know-
just speaking, bro. Like, how the fuck, like, how that shit felt to you to do 20 years and come out and got it, and you see it's these type of niggas in the world now.
Man, you know, you know, they always say you can't argue with yourself.
Mm.
So sometimes you gotta let a motherfucker just talk and say anything, and then people find out what they saying ain't nothing. Like, if you don't got nothing to hide, then what you gotta speak up for? I don't got nothing to hide. I don't got no points to prove. You know what I'm saying? If I done anything wrong, if any man done anything wrong when it comes to being a rat,
Yeah.
you got paperwork.
Fact.
Ain't no such thing as he third party.
You say,
He
she say,
you can't. I can't say, hey, you tell for me, and they gonna give me the time up. No, because you know who got to go in that courtroom to get his time cut?
You do.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you gonna be in there. It's on the docket sheet that you going in here.
Ain't
and
no
you
hiding
going
that
to
docket
judge.
shit either.
Right? Ain't no hiding that.
Or no sentencing
You see what
transcript.
I'm saying? So like, you can't appoint someone to tell for you, and then, or what they want to call it, third party, and like you get the credit for it, or they can't fuck up the case, because he or she is fucking the DEA. You know what I'm saying? What I will say, like, when it come to me, like, I ain't used to doing a whole lot of talking anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, not when it come to some negative shit. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm on positive shit.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? I know that I'm gonna exonerate myself because I'm an honorable man.
Absolutely.
Always been honorable to stand up. And those dudes that I left in them joints that took pictures with me and walked the yards with me, they the ones got the attitude.
Yeah.
So the trolls got to deal with them. You see what I'm saying? Like, you got to deal with them, and you may not never know who that may be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know who I am. I'm
Yeah.
comfortable in who I am. I did time with the worst of the worst, and I did time with some easygoing people. You know, but at the end of the day, law enforcement, everybody respect me because I'm an honorable man, and they never asked me to do no type of snitching or none of that shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but living in this internet era, I just say to the young people, man, they really got to have a strong stomach because me, I got grandkids, I got kids. You know, some from the young generation is like they let so much stuff get to them.
Yeah, they
You
do.
know what I mean? And that don't really matter. It don't even matter. It's
Shit
like
don't even deserve
they don't
no
know how
attention.
to do the Aaliyah and pick themselves up and try again.
Mm.
You know, they do. Man, everybody, if I was young and spent plenty of money before. Man, broke, rich, broke, rich, broke, rich. That's the name of the game.
Mhm.
Each time you learn how to keep it. So you don't let nobody make you feel bad about you spending all your money, losing all your money, whatever, however you lost it, because we all done did it. You know what I'm saying? You got certain motherfuckers that may have got 50,000 for their first rap deal, and they was back out there selling crack. And
Yeah.
that's the story they told.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So like you go through things, you can't let someone's opinion be the end all be all to what you trying to accomplish in life. And like the love and respect that I have for like you, Peasy, and any names that I don't say, Doug and Sada and Payroll and everybody from Doughboy Cash, from the east to the west and the southwest. You know what I'm saying? Like for y'all putting the city on the map where it's supposed to be, and y'all having enough sense to be like, look, we ain't got to be talking about
That
each other on
tone
this
out the-
internet. We could
yeah.
be doing music together.
Cause I don't do that. I don't
You know what I'm
speak. I don't do that. I don't respond to niggas that don't know me. The niggas that
ain't
don't know
worth
nothing
it.
about me. Like I'm living in the real world. My
Yeah.
life good. I'm motivating niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing the right thing with my life. I'm taking care of my family. I'm giving the trenches hope. I'm giving my people hope. I'm building businesses in my community. I never thought I'd never be able to do that. It's so much positive shit going on, and it's so much love in the real world. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? The internet is the internet, but in the real world, it's
Man,
real
y'all
love.
motivated me. Peasy, Babyface, Ray. To see y'all music come on that computer, that was something that I never thought I would see. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I never thought that I would be in jail long enough and see that, not even being in jail long enough, just
In
y'all would
Detroit.
make it to that type of plateau to where they got y'all music in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that shit was like, became some of my workout music and stuff. And it was like, man, damn, the city is finally putting on. Now, mind you, I hadn't been to the city in 21 years. So now to see the city where it's at now, to have these little lounges and little duck off spots and
Yeah.
nice,
It's
man, this shit
bad.
is amazing, man.
Man, how you felt since you've been in the city
Man,
where everybody
amazing.
embraced you like
The
that?
love is so, you know, my love for the city always been genuine and real, but the city's love for me has been crazy, man. Like old people, young people,
Mhm.
everything, white people, you know,
Yeah.
all races. Like it's been crazy. It's been all love. And even though I'm here for my daughter being in the hospital having open heart surgery, it was like it was meant for me to come back here and receive that love. And because that was the only reason they let me come back
Yeah.
within a 45-day period, because they wanted me to wait 60 days before I start asking to go somewhere, as
Mhm.
far as state or out the country. So it was a blessing to be able to come here and receive that love and show my love for the city, you know, like this all black affair we having
Yeah, this shit gonna be a
tomorrow.
move, making a real
You
movie,
know,
man.
that's gonna be big, man.
Shout out
You
to
know,
Lil
that's gonna,
Meech too, man. He
yeah.
played a part in this shit too,
Oh
man.
yeah,
Like,
he
you
played
know,
a big
I
part.
know that gotta feel amazing to watch your son create his own image for himself and do this shit. You know what I'm saying? With with the guide, with your guidance, to be able to pour into your son and he actually listen to you and take your advice and
Absolutely.
let you guide him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, he helped with my transition. Like, you know, he not gonna let me look like anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so me coming home, he played an important part of me having my look right
That shit be fucking
and
you up, bro.
everything.
Looking at your little man like,
Yeah,
damn, look at my little nigga, man. This young
fuck-
nigga a boss, bro.
Yeah, he a boss, man. It fucked me, but I'm so proud of him because he a boss and didn't have to do what I did.
Yeah.
So that's what, he a boss in his own way. He got his on his own. He did that on his own, And I'm glad that I was able to tell dude like, hey, man, put my son in some classes, man. I think he could pull it off. If he can't put it off, we'll find somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But he pulled it off.
And he pulled it off.
Man, you free, man. You moving right. You having real businesses, legit. Like you never gotta look and walk backwards. You never gotta worry about none of that other shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You got a second chance at life, and you live in your businessman side. You live in your clean, legit.
I'm ready to put on for the city for real. Nationwide, worldwide. And that's one of my dreams right now is to see y'all do the same thing y'all doing in Detroit, selling out across the nation and across the globe. That's what I want to see. I want to see you, Peasy, Babyface, Payroll, everybody. Y'all do a concert in LA, sold out. Atlanta, sold out.
We doing it.
You know what I'm saying? Texas, sold out. Then you start hitting Africa.
Yeah.
And London and all that type of shit.
I think that's what separates us. We moving as one. We're going to keep moving like one. We're going to keep tuning out.
Don't let nobody in between. No divide and conquer.
And then bring the younger guys up.
Man,
say right. No divide and conquer.
Yeah, y'all got V's and all them. Y'all Babyface, E, all them. I listen to all that shit.
All the youngins.
You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I may not shout out a person's name, but trust me, I'm listening to all that shit. Babytron, everybody. I'm listening to this shit and it sound good, And even these females, man, like, y'all gotta grab these females, man, and, because it ain't only Cardi B and them. Like, I love them to definitely glow, really.
You know what I'm saying?
We got females here in this city that they need their turn.
Vanna, we got a lot of we have shit.
Yeah, Cash Doll, the queen.
For sure.
She the queen no matter what.
Cash Doll put on for this motherfucker, man. We all behind KD too. We all behind each other, man. We moving like one.
That's what make it so good,
we gonna keep moving like one and tuning out all the sucker shit, bro.
Man, you look up, we billionaires.
Yeah, facts. And we leaving the niggas on the sideline and the spectators where they at. Y'all stay over there. That's nonsense. We ain't paying attention to that. You can't go cash. I can't go to the bank and the check say nonsense on it. They gonna look at me like a motherfucking fool.
Who's gonna pay you for that?
Nobody. Not for the nonsense. You heard, man. Meech, we appreciate you, man. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate y'all, man.
Real legend, real OG, man. We appreciate all the game and all the support and everything you did and everything you still doing for us, man, for the city overall. You know what I mean? The knowledge and the inspiration, man. Let's get it. We're gonna clap it up, man. Right. Big Meech, man.
All right.
This is not a real podcast. You heard?
All right, so that's what it is, right? But to really understand what this was about, this wasn't about glorifying anything. It's just showing you how the unity was back then, So the point is, you can't trust nobody, that don't have your morals and principles in them. All right. Now, big shout out to Terrence and Yadi 142nd. Let's keep it moving. Big shout out. Oh, yeah, thank you for subscribing to my daughter's channel. She's doing the motivational joint. Female, definitely going to love it. You know what I mean? The homies could learn how to treat a female over there, And like she said, don't forget to hit that like button, And, okay, shout out to Tall Man and Glen 144, 7th and 8th. All right. And I appreciate that. All right. Shout out to Lou Sims. Big shout out to Lou Sims. Big shout out to, Gangsta Lou as well. Big shout out. Yo, let me give you one about Gangsta Lou, right? I feel like riding. Gangsta Lou is one of the realest dudes that I know from my era that continue to be the same no matter what. Gangsta Lou ain't into no playing. He ain't into none of that. He ain't into all the interviews and all that. I go see him all the time and he just be laid back doing what he do, running his show. And I want to take my time to give, Gangsta Lou a round of applause. I want to give my brother Gangsta Lou a round of applause, I got to give him a round of applause on that, all right? Now, thank you for feeling that, All right, rest in power to brother-in-law Peanut from 144th. All right, man, let's keep it moving. See my man, homeboy Skip, 141st and 7th. All right, the interviewer won't let Meech talk. I think the interview was pretty good. I do think that it was a lot of talking back and forth with them. That's why I fell back, because, you know, we get some people that say, oh, Unique, let the video play. So I let the video play. But then you're going to get some people that say, Unique, you didn't talk enough. So, I mean, you tell me in the comments, what do you want more of? Do you think that I did right? And the Cash App is on the screen. Make sure you hit the icon and say it was created in 2020. We got a lot of trolls and rat bastards and flip-flop wearing and public trolls that try to jump out there and, you know, jack my joint. But I appreciate y'all for stopping in. I had a great time. I hope y'all learned something. Thank you, Bootsy, for coming through. But, you know, we're doing what we're doing, man. Share the video and let's keep it moving. All right?
Cheers, cheers, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio.
Mecca what? Mecca audio, Mecca what? Mecca audio, Mecca what? Mecca audio, Mecca what? Mecca audio. We gon' do it like we gon' do it like we keep it moving like we gotta do it like
Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was wine. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, bitch, a roaring uptown. Baby horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now you trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours, so we can give back to the.
Cheers, cheers, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.